not, but it's a chance.
But are they going to beat Phoenix?
And probably not. No. But like as I say again, it all heavily depends on what John Morant does. Just like with Dallas, it all depends heavily on what Luka does.
Right, but if you're Phoenix or your other teams that are really good, they basically, I'll take your guy. Once the guy's gone, you're screwed. And I get it, they both have decent teams, but they're not good enough to beat the teams that are ahead of them. But it's one of those things where nobody besides Magic won shit when they were a fucking kid. And Bird. Magic and Bird were the only ones. Everyone else fucking had to be at least almost in their 30s by the time before they could win shit. All of them. Every first round pick, every fucking dude that's the best ever.
I mean, to be fair, bro, team has a lot to do with that as well.
It had everything to do with it.
Because let's be perfectly honest, Magic had to have somebody to pass to. He was getting them 10 assists a game from somebody.
Oh, I get it. He got put on one of the best teams in the league. Because of a coin flip.
And all he had to do was be serviceable.
He didn't have to be serviceable. He changed the team. The team couldn't win shit without him. He shows up and they win. So it wasn't...
Because they needed a facilitator. And that's what I'm saying. They didn't need him to score. They didn't need...
He still did.
Because that's bonus stuff. That ain't what they needed from him. They needed somebody that could facilitate.
I know, but he still put up 45.
I'm just saying... he literally was the one missing piece that team needed because they had a bunch of scorers and nobody could facilitate. Right. So they got somebody that could run the offense and facilitate and could pass the ball, and it was exactly what they needed, and that was why they won when they won. I think team has a lot to do with it because, to be honest, Derrick Rose was good enough to win one.
But you put him on
when he came in, but he was just on a shit Chicago team.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. He was MVP quality. And it goes back to the point.
Youngest MVP ever.
These teams are shit. The team that Luka's playing for is shit. It's not like...
Well, I mean, the good teams don't get the good players. I mean, only the terrible teams get to draft good players.
No, the good teams build...
Good teams have to get them through trade or through free agency.
What good teams?
Whatever good teams are left.
Because
your
Phoenix wasn't a good team until they drafted Booker and Aiden.
No, let's be perfectly honest. Like that team is homegrown like a motherfucker. Because
so is Milwaukee.
Well, that's why they're as good as they are.
Milwaukee's
and that's another reason why I don't like Boston, because I feel like Boston is the same way. Like, bitch, y'all been the same fucking squad for how long? Y'all chemistry should be way better than this. Y'all should be playing much better than y'all playing. It's been the same team for almost a decade. And not to mention Tatum and fucking Jaylen Brown have grown up exponentially. Like, y'all should be much better than y'all are. Every year, them niggas can do enough to be top 3 in the East, but then get to the playoffs and can't do a damn thing. Like, I just don't understand that shit. I don't get it at all. So that's why I'm not a believer in Boston. I will never believe that Boston is going to do anything.
They're only 24. That's the thing. Like, when you look at a lot of these kids, they're young as fuck.
But also too, when you playing in a shit conference like you playing in,
he's not playing in a shit conference.
Yes, he is.
He's got to deal with Milwaukee. He's got to deal with Miami.
Miami just became a thing. Don't fucking do that, because after LeBron left Miami was shit up until they got Jimmy Butler. And even when they got Jimmy Butler, they still wasn't no fucking contender. This is the first year that Miami is a legit contender since LeBron left. Don't do that. The only team that they really had to worry about in the East was Milwaukee and fucking Toronto. And then Toronto fucking dismantled their team, so they ain't been shit for the past 2 or 3 years. Brooklyn just came on in the last 2 years or so.
Toronto's in the conference finals if they won the lottery.
Okay, and that's a fair argument. That is a fair argument, but on the same token, Toronto is still not as good to me as the other top teams. Even when they won the championship, to be honest, I feel like they only won that bitch because of Kawhi.
Yeah, they did.
Like that.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Like that buzzer beater against fucking but Philly.
They also did. They played a Golden State without Clay and without fucking what's his name? Without fucking Durant. So
Well, that's another reason why. I mean, I don't necessarily subscribe to that team being a championship caliber team. They had the right player on their team, and they made it to the to the finals at the right time. That just was how it worked out for them.
All I'm saying is they were a good team. If they probably made it to at least the second round, if not the conference finals, if they had Kate.
And that's possible. That's very possible. But at the end of the day, when you talking playoffs, like I feel like playoffs talent is much lower on the list of requirements.
Because it's like everything else, you have to learn how to play in it. It's a different game.
I think
that's why it takes young superstars years to get past big, because it's experience means more in the playoffs than it does the regular season. Plain and simple.
Absolutely, and that's another reason why I still feel like Milwaukee is gonna win. I feel like out of the teams left that have the experience to win, I feel like they have the best. If they get Middleton back, then they're gonna be a lock. Because I feel like they about to beat Boston without Middleton. Last I checked, they was down like 15 in the game. The game is going on now. They was down like 15 last time I checked. So, they might be about to lose, even though them bitches ain't got Middleton.
Well, Giannis is Jesus.
He a whole nother beast. He is hard to fucking contain.
Especially since he can shoot free throws.
Oh, it's about to be over with. It's 0.4 seconds left, and Milwaukee got the ball and they up 3. It's 103 to 100.
Get your toy. Get your
Oh
toy,
no,
mister. Here. Right
Boston has the ball.
What's the score?
It's 103, 101. Marcus Smart just made the first free throw. He about to shoot another one.
Tie it up.
No, if he makes it, it'll be 103, 102.
What you got, mister?
Right.
Show him what you got.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. You all right?
Oh, man, I'm hanging like wet clothes.
I did look. I heard that.
I am hanging.
Yeah, it's 0.4 seconds left in this bitch though, so they ain't got a chance. Even if he make both of these free throws, it'll be a 1-point game. Milwaukee get the ball, they have to foul, and it's not enough time left to do
When
it.
y'all talking about some sports stuff or something?
Yeah, something I told Fox weeks ago. I told him Milwaukee was that deal, and he keep denying it.
I don't want him to win because
It ain't about whether I want him to win either. I just feel like they the most qualified candidate.
I want Booker to win because he's a hometown kid.
And I don't want him to win because I will never root for Chris Paul.
It's nothing to do with Chris Paul.
I will never root for him.
He's a hometown kid. He's from the Detroit area, or actually he's from Michigan. I think he's Kalamazoo.
He's Kalamazoo. Is where he's from.
The zoo.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go up there all the time.
Oh,
Had a sweetie up there.
that's game 103, 101.
That's close. One basket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was one basket before. I mean,
but
they're
look,
two evenly matched teams, especially with
Boston-
Middleton not playing.
I don't even watch
this is the
basketball.
thing. It's the defense. That's what you're not realizing. Milwaukee has the defense to dictate the game in key moments.
Well,
They
you say
held
that
them to.
Boston's got the best defense in the league.
Yes, but look at the deep look. The Bucks held them to less than 20 points for 2 quarters. They got 17 in the third quarter and 19 in the first quarter. It takes defense to hold a team to under 20 points in a quarter. And I'm just saying, Milwaukee, they have the defense. As long as their offense holds up, I think they're gonna beat Phoenix again. Me personally. I just don't see Phoenix. I don't see who Phoenix has to answer Giannis. Who's gonna stop Giannis?
Home field advantage.
Who's gonna stop Giannis though?
You just have to outscore him.
And if you can't stop Giannis, then you're not gonna outscore him.
You
If
might be
Giannis-
able to.
If Giannis can get to the,
But if they can't stop you, what's the difference? And that's the thing. Phoenix is
Milwaukee is for sure gonna be able to stop Phoenix. They've already proven that they can do that. They did it in the finals last year.
I mean,
So-
that was last year, maybe they learned.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy that you think, or that you going off the premise of Phoenix getting better and learning, but not Milwaukee.
I didn't say they didn't get better and learn. I said all I'm saying is they have a chance because it was a tight series last time, and it's going to be a tight series again because they both can play defense and they both have a guy that can go the fuck off.
So we're good
They
at two
can go off
top
for
teams.
70 Yeah, they're two top
Are they going
teams.
to face each other?
If it keeps going the way it's going, it looks like they are.
If
They're the best two teams left.
I don't follow basketball.
both teams could lose their series they're in now.
I mean, it's a slim chance. They're
Slim
the best
chance.
two teams left.
But possible.
But possible. Because again, if you
And
lose,
not in the Milwaukee
if some-
series. Milwaukee is
Hold
up
on.
3-0. Milwaukee's
No,
not
they're
going to
not.
lose.
It's 2-1.
Oh, it is 2-1. That is right. Boston came back and won.
If they lose Giannis,
Yeah, it's
if
a slim
Giannis
chance.
gets hurt, which he hasn't, he's a fucking beast. But if he gets hurt, they lose the series.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But you could say the same thing about
Phoenix.
Any
If they
other
lose
team.
Booker, I don't think they.
You can say that about Boston. If Boston loses Jason Tatum,
Yeah, they lose.
it's over with.
Well, they're not going to win anyway. I don't think they're.
I mean, I don't think they are either. But I'm just saying the argument you making can be made for pretty much any team. If they lose their top star, they're probably going to lose the series. Like, I mean, if Dallas loses Luka, it's over with.
I can't watch a basketball.
Really?
Yeah,
They tried to get me to play it in high school because I was tall at the time.
yeah,
And
that was me.
so I said, I don't want to do it. Guy said, come on, Rudy, school spirit. Okay, all right, school spirit. So I got out there,
Yeah.
traveling.
Ah.
So I'm like, traveling? What the fuck is that? I didn't even know what it was, right? So I get the ball again, and I make a long shot. It goes in, right? So then, we run back and forth. I get the ball again. Traveling. I didn't know what traveling was.
You didn't know you had to dribble?
I knew I had to dribble, but you have to dribble every.
Yeah, you didn't know if it was
you have
2
to dribble
steps or
the
3
whole
steps.
time.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but you.
You can only take 2 steps.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know about.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, you thought you could just keep running with it?
No, I was dribbling.
Oh.
But obviously I was
2 steps, then 3 steps. then
Yeah, exactly.
2, then 5. How
Exactly.
many?
So
Yeah.
I got fed up with that shit. But I never liked basketball anyway. You always seemed a silly sport.
I
to
mean,
me.
I'm
My
horrible at it.
dad put it in me. Like he plays semi-pro basketball. So
you
Yeah.
come by it legitimately.
from as soon as I
My
could hold a
dad
basketball.
was into baseball.
Yeah. My dad tried it with us.
My dad was a baseball dude.
It was like one of the memories that still sticks in there is I was supposed to, like, he was my coach. And it was, this is just after my mom died. I don't even think Julia's in the picture yet. So it's literally within months of her death. And I happened to be because the bus stop was over here, house was over here. I'd have to walk around the block to get to the bus stop.
Okay.
So I get home and I go there instead of going home. Well, he picks me up. And he shows up and he's all fucking pissed off. And I get in the back seat and he turns around and goes, whop, and just socks me right in the fucking nose. Not like hard to break my nose, but enough to make me cry.
To shock you, yeah.
Yeah.
Shock and awe.
And he was like, you ever fucking blah 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 do that shit again? It was like,
What did you do?
I didn't come home.
Oh, you didn't come straight home.
Yeah. And he didn't know where I was because no phones or anything like that at the time.
Yeah, he probably was a little bit distressed because of the wife.
You know what's fucking
So he was
crazy?
probably
He
getting a
just
little
did this shit
overprotective.
to me months before that.
Oh.
I wake up at 3 in the morning as a child and my dad's gone. My mom's just died. It's raining like crazy outside and my dad's nowhere to be found. So I'm calling people, crying, calling grandma because I know grandma's phone number is 643 something.
Yeah.
I can't believe I remember the first 3 numbers. So he had done it to me, to the whole family, like a little bit, because he had met this girl, bought her a fucking car with my mom's money, and then
Well, it
went
wasn't your
back-
mom's money anymore.
Yeah, well, with the money from my mom's death.
Yeah.
Then he goes and tries to beg to get her back because she ended up going. I'm assuming she fucked him one time and
Yeah.
he got attached.
He was a victim.
Bought the car and then
He was a
she had a
victim.
boyfriend or some shit like that.
She played him.
But that's where he was. And it was like, as a kid, I didn't know that shit. I just freaking. But then, but that's my basketball memory is
From that.
basically going to basketball practice that day, knowing that I just got punched in the face by my dad, and some girl on the team I had a crush on. So it was even worse.
Yeah.
I remember temper tantruming because I fucked up. I don't know. I didn't catch the pass or I missed something. And I did the whole "Oh, it's your fault," like stormed off. Like I've seen kids do it, and it's like
You know, a little tantrum.
yeah, just a little fucking. And it was because my dad punched me in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Like a couple hours before that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Ain't being human a bitch. You know what?
it is crazy.
Being human, really, I've been thinking about it. I don't think it's a good thing to be human.
Yeah, I want to be an alien.
I'm serious. When you're human, more humans put up with misery than happiness. I started thinking about the world in general.
I mean, there's a reason they say nice guys finish last.
Look at all the third world countries where people are living in pure poverty.
They'd be some of the happiest motherfuckers in the world.
Yeah, but you know why? You know why? Because the system makes them believe, even though you don't have no money, you're still happy. And you got family. It's the whole system. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Being human is more of a curse.
Or it's an Eastern philosophy of understanding that nothing lasts and nothing's forever.
Well, the Eastern philosophies have an edge on the Western philosophies.
Because they have less attachment.
Yes. But was that because they never had a real attachment?
No, it's because people in their sphere of world took what they learned from their experiences and came up with attachment instead of Yahweh.
Man, when I talk to my Filipino girlfriend, she's the happiest person on earth. I mean, she's smiling all the time and always giving me compliments all the time. And they eat rice and eggs for almost every meal.
I mean, food's food.
No, it's not.
I mean,
Yeah, fucks. I
No, it's not. When I send her money, they go to Jolly Bee. She can go get meat
no, I get it. Meat, it sucks to eat that shit
every day.
But the reality is that's what we used to eat.
But every
Because that's
day,
what it was.
that's not good. It's not that. What kind of nutrients and stuff like that is in just eggs and rice? Rice has nothing in it. It's just a
You're
starch.
just getting the protein from
Hold on.
the eggs. That's it.
Eggs have everything you need for life. Everything that you need to create life is in a yolk.
If you eat too many eggs, you'll have high cholesterol.
No, that's
Yes,
a bullshit
no,
study
it's not.
from your time.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is. It's a bullshit study
Okay.
from your time.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, because back in
If
the
you
day,
overeat
there was a
eggs-
bunch of fucking things that said that. But the reality is if you eat good eggs, you don't eat like the shitty eggs that are filled with grain and shit like that. Hello?
What
Let
up?
me get you a
3
chair.
hours in the backyard today. I got sunburn number 1 of the year.
So Fox,
Hold on. I gotta go.
because I
You survive.
I got rid of that shit's getting
Yeah.
already.
I don't have to worry about this shit anyway, because I don't eat eggs.
I don't eat. I eat eggs maybe 4 or 5 times a year.
The last time I ate eggs, I was like 3 or
We
4
eat
years
eggs
old.
like almost every day.
I
We
eat
eat
it.
really good eggs with like the really dark.
Well, I never did
yolk.
like eggs really though. When I was young, I didn't like eggs. Then I don't like milk either.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of eggs.
I'm not a fan of
I'll do
milk or
milk.
eggs.
I'll do milk, but I don't like eggs.
Shit, I don't eat milk. Milk's not good
I don't
for you.
like milk either.
I think milk's a problem.
I love them.
But I was one of those kids.
You're right.
I was one of those kids that didn't have an issue with milk.
I have very
Like, I
little.
used to drink the
I
milk
have
cartons.
very little milk. You're right. Too much milk.
Kids used to give me their milk cartons when I was in school because
Yeah.
kids didn't like milk, and I would fucking sit at table down 3 or 4 fucking milk cartons.
Now,
And they thought I was the weirdest motherfucker in the world.
I was watching that one chip challenge, right? If they think if you drink milk,
It's supposed to
Alright,
be a,
supposed to
yeah,
help. Hey,
it's supposed to
so
help.
the guy
with
drank a
spicy
whole
stuff.
gallon of milk. They had to take him to the hospital.
Now,
Not because of the
because he drank the gallon of milk.
Yes.
You're not supposed to gallon of anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hyperhidrosis. It's absolutely.
They didn't know that.
Come on.
They didn't have a
The
clue.
radio station got sued because they're having
Midget.
people drink as much water as they could, and the lady killed herself.
Yeah, because your cells can't handle that water, so they.
It's called overload.
Yep, they start. Your cells basically just start leaching that water out into your body, basically.
Yeah, it fucks you up big time. But people do it to get high too. People
Yeah, 'cause you get
drink a
lightheaded
ton of
from it.
water. No, you'll hallucinate. It'll get you
people
high
need
as
weed.
fuck, man. But it's you gotta get that balance. It's like
Yeah.
dudes that
Hey,
take the thing and they'll
Yeah,
Is there
go for that.
alcohol?
Yeah,
yeah, because you
That's
take it
how-
right there. You can't be dead, but you're almost there.
that's
Woo!
how the karate dude died,
How did
and he was in Thailand. Yeah, it happened.
Of course he was.
someone else was crack choking?
But after a while, you know that dude grew up in the 70s. He was fucking famous and rich as fuck in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he was white. So he's basically able to do whatever he wanted in the world.
Yeah.
At some point, I guess if you give everything you want, You just get to a point where you're choking yourself.
Well, you're always looking for new things to excite you. That's
You
what it
just
is.
let a girl do
When
it.
you got tension, a girl might have been doing it. And just booked out of there when she
true.
saw it went too far.
Yeah. Well, he was hanging.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I know, but I'm just saying, let a girl just grab you and do it.
That's probably not good enough.
I mean, finding girls that are into
Let me
things
tell you
like
something.
that.
I had a girl.
That fucking hard
I had a young
It's
girl.
for average people.
for average people, I guess.
Like, not in,
nice
not
hat. What is that hat?
in, not,
It's a minor league team out of like Sacramento or something.
All right, all
Or
right.
Yetis. He's holding a tree.
Could you imagine if they ran it like they do in England, where the Tigers basically get derelegated because we suck so bad
Dude,
for
they
so
need
many
to
years?
do that.
They do.
And then you could get teams that
Oh,
come
they-
up.
the fact that
That'd be
they had a
awesome.
joke
No,
about
you know,
the Tigers in
actually-
that movie.
Actually, you should
Why?
realize the Tiger.
Did you catch the joke about the Tigers?
Realize the owners.
They should do that with football.
They were-
Realize the owners.
They were talking
Said
about
they can-
baseball, and
Everyone else is relegated down.
one of them said the Tigers, and the other one was like, they suck.
Yeah, make the owners earn less money. Of
Well,
the,
everybody knows the
I was
Tigers suck.
dead.
Well, yeah. But see, the Tigers haven't always sucked.
No.
But the Lions have almost always sucked.
Hold on a
you're
second.
honest,
Agreed.
Rudy. They share all the.
I mean, the
TV
Tigers
money.
just won
The TV money
they
went
won a
to
championship
people.
in '84,
84. Hold on.
and then they
If
were
you
very
think about
close to
it
winning
relatively-
in
What
05.
did you say?
If you think
04,
about it in the
06.
sense that the Tigers have been around since
05 or 06, I think, yeah, they
1900.
We
went
won
to
the
World
whole teams,
Series.
yeah.
They've only won
Lost
4
to the Padres.
championships.
And they were the last team to take a black or Hispanic player. Did you
They
know
only
that?
had one.
Did you know
It's not
that?
surprising.
They're the last
Detroit is
team.
racist as fuck.
The last team. You think it would be Boston?
No.
But it was Detroit.
Yeah, Boston
Why
was
the final
very
stop
good.
on the Underground Railroad, man?
No.
Shit stops here.
But they had
Then go to
places
Toronto.
where they separated them, and then once they split the separation, that's when shit changed.
Yeah, Boston is fucking racist.
Because
I'm
everything,
with you
every
on that.
city's got their own separation. You got the South Side of Chicago. You got this. You got
Yeah.
that. In Detroit, they were like, "Well, let's just take it out. They'll go away."
Well, the
No,
only way the
they-
rich people can get away with not paying taxes is if there's enough poor people in their city to pay all their fucking taxes for them.
And it's not in Detroit. But the population in Detroit is rising.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said, oh, the
I
last
know a couple
night.
guys that I know, like
All the young
Hurley.
professionals moving.
You remember
in.
Hurley?
Yeah. A lot,
Hurley wants to go fucking live in
a
Detroit.
lot of people are doing it, man. The guys in my
Hey,
band.
The downtown life.
He's,
Where you live at?
But it's not just downtown.
Okay.
On my side of the town.
Yeah.
Over by
He wanted
the
to buy Rudy's
boulevard.
house. He was asking about Rudy's house. He's like, I'm looking in that area. There's a lot of young. He's a
How that all go?
professional
You
white
selling
dude.
that house?
Not yet.
Educated,
Okay.
Michigan State grad.
I'm gonna go for my other hip operation, and after that, then we're gonna put the house.
Probably
on the
makes
market.
6 figures. Gonna go live in Detroit.
Yeah,
He
two
looking for
guys.
sugar baby.
But he's also a DJ.
Ah.
So he's got that, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that, what's that, hipster? He's not a hipster, but he's got that hipster vibe in the
Yeah.
sense that
Who is this?
it's a guy I know,
Oh.
DJ Catalyst is what he
Yeah.
goes by. But he's a buddy of mine that I play disc golf with.
Oh, okay.
And he wants to live down in this. Oh.
Man, I'm telling you, man.
That's why I've been ignoring them asking to come in.
In the next few years, Detroit is gonna really start booming, man, because they're doing stuff that I never thought they'd ever do. in
Except for the
Detroit.
downtown area is still shit.
It's funny. I was driving.
Not anymore.
No, you're wrong.
Last time
You
you
are
went
so-
downtown.
I tell you
They
what,
got a whole drive-in movie theater downtown.
Where?
get with me.
Right across from my job, Campus Martius. They got a whole drive-in.
got a beach down
And
there.
guess what it turns into during the summer? A fucking roller rink with basketball courts.
That
Sure does.
that Riverwalk's been voted
Number one
Best in the
whole country.
in the country
Yep.
2 years
Hey!
in a row.
And they got a lot of stuff they plan on doing to
Get
the
down!
Riverwalk.
There's tons of stuff coming.
Yeah.
There's tons of stuff coming.
Because the Riverwalk doesn't go all the way, and they want it to go
Get
all
Get
the
ready
way.
to make it go all the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get out! Go outside!
So I was just driving up from the
Hey,
park today,
come on.
coming over the bridge, looking at the skyline, and I was trying to name all the buildings I could pick out, and the casinos were the easiest ones.
Yeah.
It was like, over there's Motor City, right there's Greektown.
Well, look at you can. Well, that building that was owned by John Madden, you can always see that one.
I always see a Penobscot.
And the Renaissance Center and the Penobscot, because they're the tallest ones.
Yep. I worked in the Penobscot, so I always like
I
pick it
did
out
too.
when I see
I
it.
worked in the Penobscot. Well, no, I worked in the book building. It's like the Penobscot. It's older.
I love like
They
the
just
pieces of
downtown,
market
and then they
and shit.
fucking them food trucks be down there in the
Lost,
summer.
lost are going in everywhere.
It be busy.
All
down
over
there.
the place, man.
It be real
I'm talking
busy.
all over the city. I mean, all over the city. They're putting in lofts and shit, man. Brand new shit.
That's what I want. I want me a loft.
They finally got rid of that tiny little house that was at like Griswold and Woodward and that little
I
like
just don't want
triangle
they do
spot.
that
And
when I
now
was
it's a
up.
huge loft going up.
Oh, they
9 stories. or
Somebody
something,
bought that house.
Yeah.
The house sat there for years.
There's a house there that wouldn't.
There's
sell.
one more still there.
I think they might have got forced out or something.
There's one still there.
It's funny because there's big.
Well,
ass
I
buildings
haven't
all
been down
around.
that way in a while, but 2 years ago it was still there. It was all these buildings and parking lots, and there's one house sitting
Yeah.
there. You're like, why the fuck? Where the fuck? did
Usually
that
when
come
that's
from?
happening, it's because the original owner's holding out.
They don't want to sell. They,
Thinking they're gonna
they,
get 10 million eventually.
they want the big money,
Yep.
unless they condemn them. But they can only do that under certain circumstances.
Well, I think they do force them out though, because in Madison Heights, when that Meyer went up at 13 DeQuinder, I had friends who lived in those houses back there, and it was swamp. It was 9 houses, and they
Yeah.
all are on sump pumps. They were shitty houses, but
There were
his
houses
dad,
back there?
yeah, there were houses back there. It was like woods. There was a little dirt road, one circle. They all had a lot of property, but his dad held out because all the first people, the very first thing Meyer offered, because Meyer offered the people money, they offered 1.5 times the value of your home.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if your home was 100 grand, they offer you 150 grand cash.
Yeah.
And a lot of people took it. A lot of people were like, let's just move out and get
See, and
his dad held out, and then the city kicked him out, and he got the estimated value of his house, which was lower than what they were going to get.
oh man,
Like, he got the tax value, what the city values it as.
do you remember Pole Town before they put the Chrysler plant there?
No.
Not really, no.
Well, a good friend of mine who ended up going
Tearing
crazy.
Chrysler plant down.
A good friend of mine who ended up going crazy. He could play guitar, man, like you wouldn't believe it, and he could draw a portrait of you that would look like a photograph. That's how good he was. But his dad was the last house to hold out for that plant. Okay, so his dad built a wall around his house. And everybody called him crazy, and he stayed there. He really waited them out, but you know they got to.
Yeah,
They end up getting paid.
I was gonna say 'cause that money was gonna come.
They end up being nice. They end up getting paid. Because sometimes it
Not
doesn't.
no big money, just some regular money.
So the reason my buddy's dad got screwed in the Myers is
I guess
because
he just
eventually
got
he was
tired
the
of
only
being
guy,
nasty.
and if there's only one person in the city has an X amount
Yeah.
of claim, like they
and
can
see,
force him out.
they got something called the grandfather-in-law
Eminent
too.
domain.
Yeah,
It's called a grandfather-in-law. If
that's
you were the first,
eminent domain disaster.
if you were the first person there, the first people, then you get what they call grandfather then, and they got to give you more money because of that fact. That means you might have been living there 40 years. You know, you got something coming.
I wonder what the Meyer pays Madison Heights though. Just
Oh, speaking of a Meyer, Fox, there's something else they have downtown. We have a Meyer downtown now.
Finally.
need grocery stores downtown.
Well, is it? It's
That
only
Lafayette Foods.
Yeah,
is
but you
trash.
need fucking real grocery stores, not Myers. Myers isn't a real grocery store.
well. What's that new one they putting down there? It's a community grocery store.
That's the one, the Meyer,
No, this is not a
the
Meijer.
Rivertown Market.
No, this is not a Meijer. It's called. What? They just had it on TV.
Well, they already
3
have
days
a
ago.
Whole
over
Foods
by the
downtown.
Wayne State.
No, this is
right next to Wayne State.
the community put up 400,000 and some. I think Joe and somebody else put up 500,000 to build this. They just built it. I think it's supposed to open either it open this weekend or it's opening next weekend.
Oh, shit.
Fresh produce, all the produce that was grown in Detroit in this market, all fresh.
That's what needs to start happening. Is we need to start actually making shit and growing shit and buying shit from areas that are where we're at. Like we
After-
need to split up because right now there's 5 companies that control most of our
If
food.
you just drive around neighborhoods in Detroit, though, you do see those community
Farming.
gardens, and you see
They got-
people out there.
And they
Yeah.
farming.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of places.
And
I'm gonna do that.
They have a handful of motherfuckers.
I'm gonna do
working.
You
that.
not see the cucumbers on my front porch?
Yeah, but I'm
Kids
talking
out
about.
there working.
I'm gonna get a lot and put up that closet and start growing vegetables.
You talking about a greenhouse?
Yeah, it's a green. Well, that's not a greenhouse.
certain things
It's
that
a
grow
closet,
great
but
here.
it does the same.
Anything
You know, it's
from
made like
squash to
this,
the pumpkin
and it's
family
covered
grows
in
great.
some kind of vinyl that you can see through.
You can grow cucumbers. There's all
I
kinds
don't know
of
what it's
things
called.
really good here.
Sounds like a greenhouse to me.
Well, I mean, but they don't call it a greenhouse. They call it a
It has a
closet.
proper name.
They call it a closet grow. They don't call it a greenhouse.
All right.
They just call it a closet grow. I mean,
I don't know.
Only a
That shit
greenhouse
takes
if
work.
If you use the sun.
yeah, it does.
Amplify the sun.
They got over by over by.
You want to run a hose spigot to it? If you want to put the hose reel in there, I can help
Over
you.
by Shane near Mac, it's about 8 of them. Where they put all those houses down. Somebody bought those lots. It's about 8 of them over there. And they're furnishing restaurants in downtown Detroit with fresh produce.
I want a goat.
You want what?
A goat.
A
I
goat.
think you could have a goat in the city limits now.
Not in his
Not in an apartment though.
Not in the apartment. And I think you have to get a permit anyway.
I've seen dude before with a
I want
goat
a goat.
on a leash, and he was in the front yard. And I asked him what he was doing, and he said he was mowing the lawn. And he was probably full of shit. He was probably just walking his
no.
goat.
No, that's what they do.
will.
That's what they do. They'll
They eat that shit flat and it'll look manicured.
They eat that shit. They eat that shit.
And because of how they graze,
And he might have been bullshitting you to a certain degree, but
because of how
they
they
do that.
graze, it literally
Yeah.
it'll be even and flat.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. Like a lot of
Sheep.
people down south, eat
Goats,
sheep are like that
Goats
too.
and sheep, they do that.
That's why mutton, like, there's a sustainable thing that we run
Cows
away
aren't
from.
good because they too heavy. They trample the grass.
Well, mutton's a fucking food source that we don't fuck with anymore.
We
like
just
we should.
attract the fucking.
I mean, it just
Like,
depends
you're
on what
having
part. Because I don't like lamb chops.
You don't?
Oh man.
Not really. It's a
Well,
it's a texture thing.
Oh, it's texture. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, they just too
Yeah.
greasy.
Yeah, it's a
They're
texture.
lean.
Yeah,
thing.
but if it's made into a sausage, does it really
Your
matter?
teeth do kind
Then
of.
that's different. But I've never had it that way. You can't ask me that
What
because
I'm
I've never had
saying,
it
but
that way.
that's my point. Is it's something
I've
that
only
we
ever
could
had
use.
lamb.
In other words, a lamb meat sausage.
Yeah, like I might be able to do that.
Lamb is young.
Sounds fucking.
Or ground lamb.
Oh, you said mutton.
Mutton. Lamb is when the meat is young.
Yeah.
Mutton is when it's old. When it's an
When
old
it's a
lamb
sheep.
that's
Yeah.
sheep that's had his fucking like been fucking sheep.
Don't tell me and try to educate me, bitch. I done had haggis before.
Yeah.
Damn.
I have too. I've had haggis and I've also
Shit.
had blood sausage.
And then when they told me what the fuck it was,
I had blood sausage too.
Like I've eaten ass before. It's all right.
I mean, but to be honest, I mean, yeah. And I ate chitlins growing up, so
Me too. When I was growing up,
That's
I won't eat that shit
Because that's
now.
what we're supposed to eat.
it's intestines.
My dad
You're
used to
supposed to
love
eat
butter and
everything.
onions. I used
But
to-
I mean, or at least that's what you.
Well, back in the day,
We
intestines
saw.
was just chitlins was just thrown to the
Intestines
pigs.
was how you
The
preserve
pigs ate their own chitlins.
Yeah.
Well, it's also how you preserve meat.
You don't preserve chitlins.
You preserve fucking in the intestines.
But let me tell you
Sausage
something.
and all that
Let me tell you
comes
something.
in
You
the
can say
sausage.
what you want. You can say what you want, but baby,
They say the first
if you
cheese.
clean them chitlins real good and smoke them bitches before you cook them, baby, I'll throw some hot sauce on them bitches and eat it with some light bread.
All right.
But that's just me personally.
I used to fry.
I'm from the deep south.
I used
I've
to
never
fry
had them
chitlins.
fried.
Oh,
I never had them fried.
oh, man, you ain't had chitlins unless you had them fried.
Now let me
The first time my cousin fried them for me, I was like, I didn't know what I was eating. I thought I was eating bacon.
see.
I thought I was eating bacon.
I can see why you would think that
She said,
too.
those are chitlins. I was like, what?
I can see why you would think that too. Yeah. Oh baby. Fuck. Yeah, I fuck some chitlins up.
But I won't eat chitlins now.
I ate all the weird things in my family that nobody liked. Like I love sardines. Oh my
I'm
god.
even at mountain oysters.
Oh. I like
You've
horses,
had
but all my
balls?
family own
Huh?
horses.
You've had some balls.
Yeah, mountain oysters. In Nebraska.
Oh wait, no, not mountain
Like
oysters.
calamari.
In
I like
Nebraska.
regular oysters. I like calamari.
In Nebraska, they have a festival. I used to live in
Squid salads
Nebraska.
trip.
They have a
people.
festival.
Yes. Oh,
And that's what they do.
No, I can't do.
Three
They
different
cook them in all kind of ways. They fry them, boil
I can't do
them.
that live
You know what I
shit.
mean?
Like the
Yeah.
the live
Yeah, I wouldn't
octopus.
want
I can't do that shit.
Bull balls.
If it's
I
fed for
can't.
its life,
I
I
wa-
win.
You ever
I
ate
watched a
tongue?
fucking video of a bitch trying to swallow a live octopus.
Oh no.
Oh my god!
crawl out of
And
her
it was
mouth.
crawling and trying to crawl out of her mouth as she was trying to chew it. Like the tentacles were literally like sticking.
It was
out
a
of her
little
mouth.
teeny octopus?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But she
'Cause they got a
couldn't-
beak, you know.
Yes. But I'm sure she had probably like chewed the inside of it down, but the tentacles was like still alive, and it was
And
like
it's squirming
crawling, trying to get out of her
around.
fucking
Yeah,
mouth.
no.
That's fucking
The
no.
other day at work, we went to turn on a vacuum breaker for.
What kind of woman was
system,
this?
And a frog
She was
in
Asian.
there.
I was getting ready to say, that sounds like an Asian girl to me.
Yeah, she fucked that up.
Oh, yeah.
When I tell you she
I
sucked
told you,
them
that
tentacles right
sound,
on
when you said this, that sounds like an
she
Asian
sucked them
girl.
tentacles right on in and
Japanese
swallowed
probably.
that shit right on down. She chewed it.
She could be
swallowed
any
everything.
Asian.
I would be.
She could be any Asian. They all eat
I would have had to
insects.
swallow that bitch.
They all eat insects.
That's another protein that we
octopi.
don't
Well, the
use
Bay
like
of
we
Tokyo.
What's
What?
that?
Insects.
That's true.
The Bay of Tokyo is so
Mushrooms,
deep that there's over like
insects.
3,000
I've had
different
crickets
types
before.
of fish just right there off the shore of Tokyo, because it's so deep and they all live.
Area. try to fish out there.
There are islands that Japan and Russia both claim, and it's been like that,
Yeah.
forever.
Yes, it is. Yep. That's
I
true.
got dared to eat a cricket when I was young.
Japanese.
Well, I've had roasted grasshoppers. Yeah, I just had grasshoppers.
Japanese are interesting, man. They're so into like harmony and stuff and like Zen shit that there's a fishing island where it's important for the fishers to stop and resupply and do things, and there's a little community there. But it's also a migration point for grizzly bears where they swim to this island, then swim to another island or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's all these different bears, different times of year, and it's the same time as the fishermen.
And they go for that fish.
The fishermen walk with an extra fish on their hook for the bears.
For the
when the
bears.
bears come by, they toss it like 10 feet away.
Yep.
And the bears go and eat it. But the
Yeah,
bears
because
don't fuck with the people.
bears, them Russian bears are like the worst bears there are.
They don't mess with people though because they come up to you like snorting and they know that you got fish and you just throw them a fish.
I mean,
Like,
at
you-
that
Yeah, but
point,
if you didn't have
you
the
ain't got no fish.
and they were hungry, that's your ass.
But there's videos.
Yeah.
There's videos of like
Them
5
bitches is
fishermen
big.
walking from their boat on the dock to
Did you remember
the
that dude?
shop, and they'll see like 3 or 4 bears will come up to them.
Did you remember that dude that was going up to Alaska and hanging out with the bears and sleeping with
And
them?
that bear mauled his
That
ass.
bear ate. I think he ate him and his girlfriend.
Yeah, no.
He took his girlfriend on his last trip. He used to go up by himself all the time. Then he got a girlfriend. She went up there with him. That motherfucker bear ate both of them.
No.
If you hang out with the bears though, you gotta be able to fight the bear and win.
Every
You
time-
can't-
You ain't fighting no Kodiak bear.
I know,
dude.
but-
Ever since I read this article that said that
Their
a
culture-
bear can take your head off
It was
just by
yeah.
swiping his paw,
Oh, for sure.
ever since I read that, bitch, I ain't fucking
Think
with
of
no
our heads
bear.
and think of their fucking
in the airport in Fairbanks, they got a big giant glass case that's about 9 feet tall, and
And we got a bear in it?
they've got a polar bear that's been
wow.
tested.
Just to show you how big that
He's
bitch is.
standing up like this, and I was like,
Huge.
damn.
Huge. And then I found out that polar bears and grizzly bears are the same fucking bears.
They don't look the same.
But they are.
They probably from the
Like
same
white people and
gene,
black
They are.
but they don't look the
They're
same.
essentially the same bear.
Like
They
who?
say it's supposedly that if you shave them both down,
They look similar.
they're the same bear. Polar bears are just white because they in Antarctic and it helps them blend in with their surroundings. Yeah, them bitches are.
All of them Alaskan bears.
The poles are pretty vicious though. I wouldn't fuck with no polar.
You know, they be
Fuck no.
they be taking down moose,
Especially
and
now they're all
big moose.
starving.
They can smell your ass from like
And a
miles
moose
away.
ain't nothing to play with either.
Because I think they got the best noses in the
Oh,
animal
mooses will
kingdom.
fuck you up.
Oh, a moose is them.
Yeah,
a
you got-
full-grown moose,
You got
boy.
worried about moose.
And they got supposedly they're quicker to attack than bears are.
They will.
You believe that?
Especially if there's a baby around.
Yeah, supposedly
Oh, yeah,
moose
because
are
they're-
more temperamental. They're quicker to attack than
Yeah,
bears are.
they're territorial.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
curious too. Like they will walk up in your
Yeah, they walk
like,
up in
fuck
people's
with you.
backyards and shit. So,
Yeah,
because
they'll walk into the store.
lady posted a video, woke up one morning and it was 2 fucking bull moose like fighting in her fucking
Yeah.
front yard.
Yeah.
Like,
I want the last
That
time.
happens-
whole fucking fight.
That happens in Southfield.
with the deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked
was
at how
fucking
many
in
deer.
their backyard.
I was shocked at how many deer there are in Southfield. I didn't know that
It's my
shit.
friend.
There's a lot of land that's not.
But-
My friend stays
It's
at.
a ton of them. Let me tell you, my friend,
He stays behind the mire and his deer in his fucking parking lot all the time.
the singer in my band lives in Southfield, right off a 10-mile between Nashville and Telegraph.
Same area.
Right by-
And in his
Same area.
backyard, he has a BB gun.
Cause he's living back
The
there.
deer are eating up all of his vegetation in the backyard. So he got a BB gun and shoots at him to
Just
discourage
give
him.
him a little pop and
It don't-
let
it
come
don't
around.
stop. It don't
Yeah.
stop.
It probably don't. Yeah,
He
because
got
it's
to
a
sleep.
BB.
He got to sleep too.
Right?
I was working at some pump.
They used to get attacked by animals. They like, this
10
ain't
feet away from me,
shit.
didn't give a fuck. It scared the shit out of me. I looked at it and I was like, "What the hell?" And it's looking at me like, "Why are you scared?" You know, just started walking away from me.
Right. The one time I had a close encounter with a deer, damn near scared. I'm talking about I almost died and went to heaven. Me and my dad was fishing and we were in the woods and we go into this pond in the woods and we walked up on a big ass buck and this was probably the biggest deer I ever seen in pictures or anything. Like this motherfucker was huge.
He's about 10
And
points.
like you know, like he head down,
Yeah.
and he raised his head up, and when and you could see how big he was, and this
And all
big
the
ass
points.
rack.
Yeah, all the points.
When I tell you, my daddy was like, "Stop," and we just literally just sat and watched that bitch until he walked off because he was like, "That motherfucker kill both of us," and I'm like, thinking at the time like a deer.
Oh yeah.
Kill over with
Just stand on their hind legs and box you like a man.
And I see videos of
They
that.
will box you like a
I see videos of
motherfucking
that.
man.
And whoop your ass.
Yeah,
Yes. With the
There's a video about that.
He gets you
It's a
down,
dog, and he gets into a fight with a deer. That deer was kicking
I was
his
like
ass.
kicking the shit out of his ass. And not to mention, like, if that bitch decide to like go,
So
run
what
at
do
you
you
with
do?
the
Grab its
horns?
antlers and spin to the ground and hope you break its neck?
Maybe, but
Well, a guy
There's no
your
way I
size,
could fight
a
it.
guy your size,
As soon as you-
might be.
yeah, maybe
I think
you'll
you
be
jump on its
alright.
hind legs to kick you with its front legs. Do you just slide at its bottom legs that are on the
Just
ground?
don't try to piss it off.
You gotta remember something.
Kick it in the ball.
You gotta remember something.
Run away.
This is an agile
Because in the moment,
animal.
you're not gonna have it. You're not gonna
This
have
animal
to
can
think
jump.
about any of that.
He can jump up in the air.
You just try to scare it then. As soon as it looks aggressive, you just get more aggressive. And
No,
let it
you just
run.
get the hell out.
You just try to go,
and walk
Yeah,
away.
It's
they're
not
not
a
gonna
predator.
punch you.
Yeah, they probably not run after you.
Yeah, they just defend
You know,
themselves.
glance over your back every now and then.
They're eating
Bro.
bark and shit.
Which that ain't gonna matter anyway.
Wild animals, you
They
do not want.
fast.
Wild animals,
They
you
gonna
do
knock
not.
you down.
You do not want to. Look,
Yeah, but
you don't want to look them in the eye.
You run away
You don't want to look them in the
tigers,
eye. Wild animals, you do not want to
But
look
that's the
them in the eye.
difference, though. A deer is
They're
not gonna
looking
chase
you
you
in the eye?
down.
Huh?
Even if they're looking you in the eye.
You.
I mean, if you're looking me in the eye, I don't want to look away from you.
Yeah, but we're not.
You probably should.
But
That is.
now, if I was an alien,
That's
but
not what it
wait a minute.
is.
But if I was an
I mean,
alien,
I'm a headbutt in between.
but if I was an alien, what would you do? See, it's a whole different thing.
That's like
And we're like aliens to
bear.
them. We're like aliens to them.
That's like with the bear. If that bear is looking me in the eye, I don't give a fuck, bitch. I'm out of there. And then they fast too, but bitch, you don't have to try to catch
Keep
me.
looking at it because the second you turn
I'm
around,
gonna
imagine
run.
it's killing you.
You gonna
Coming
have
after
to,
your
yeah, that
ass.
bitch gonna have to maul my back because I'm not gonna. If I ever
But
come
see,
across a
animals-
bear, I'm gonna run. I'm
Unless
sorry.
they're hungry, animals understand that. When you leave the territory, they're gonna leave you alone. Unless they're
I hope.
hungry.
Start
I
giving
hope-
it your clothes, like give it your
I
hoodie
hope.
and see if it confuses it.
Cause
Here you go, bear.
Now that is something I might do.
Try to
Like
put the
take
shit
take
out.
off a shirt while I'm running, or take off something while I'm running and
Play
throw it
with
on the
these smells for a
ground.
minute.
Sniff that bitch.
The only time bears are more aggressive when they're hungry is when they have their babies with them.
Yep.
Because
Now me and you are
I
the ones I'm
got
tripping you.
my
you got way faster than me.
four-wheeler up by my family's cabin.
Uh-huh.
We were about 5.5 miles from our cabin. We were 4 miles down the road and then 1.5 miles down a back road and we
Uh-huh.
got stuck.
Oh.
So we had to leave the four-wheeler, and it was one of those years where the mosquitoes were just horrific. But you got like 5 layers on because when we left it was raining and it was colder.
It was colder, yeah.
But now you don't want to take the layers off because the mosquitoes are, I mean, everywhere, and you're sweating. And then about 1 mile down that back road before you get to like the main shit road, you hear a baby bear cry about 50 yards down. into the
Right, it sounds like a
forest.
baby dinosaur or something.
And we heard it twice in a row, and we know there's a baby, there's a mama, real
Uncle
close.
Dean says.
And all I had on me was keys. So I just started like, hey bear, hey! Started shaking my keys real loud, and we started running. We ran about 1 mile, and then it was just too hot and sweaty, and the mosquitoes just.
There's too much.
We walked as fast
Start
as
banging
we
stairs
possibly
like
What turned
could.
into a power walk?
Yes, but I swear to God, I've never been so scared in my entire. I've
Yeah.
seen bears up there.
Yeah,
You run
yeah.
for your
But
life when
you
you're
know
running
when
from
you
bear.
hear a
For
baby,
sure.
there's an aggressive mom
Even I
around.
would
So
look
I'm like,
fast.
get me the
You're
fuck
right.
out of here.
You're absolutely right.
Did you hear his voice when he was talking on that video?
I can't see the video.
Why not? You don't have YouTube?
You know what I
Yes,
wouldn't want to fight? I've seen videos of people fighting bobcats. That does not look like any fun at all.
YouTube
No, I
tells
Bobcat
me
decides to attack you. It's
my
gonna
last
touch
name
you
ain't
a million
Kush.
I'm not
times.
doing anything with any type of cat.
Yeah.
No type of cat.
The
No
fuck does that have to do
Just
with
tiger.
tigers,
Claw.
lions.
Well, it won't open it up for me.
And then each one
I don't understand how to solve that.
specialty to kill you. Like jaguars are like they got super strong bites. They crush your fucking head.
Bobcats have like longer teeth and longer fucking claws than normal cats.
Cougars can
So they're
fucking
about the
like
size
jump
of
like 30 feet forward in one bound. Can you imagine you being in the woods? There's a cat that can fucking jump on you from fucking 30 feet away, Fox.
So there's a story of a guy, old
And then
man.
not to mention you not gonna hear it coming or see it.
There's-
So if it decide to attack,
So I know you don't watch Rogan. So I know you've never heard this fucking story he tells. There was a kid that got killed at the San Diego zoo.
Zoo.
Because him and this other kid were fucking with one of the tigers. They were fucking
I remember that.
And
I
the
do
tiger-
remember that.
Tiger climbed over the fucking thing.
And
chased
got
him
the boy.
down.
Yep.
And Rogan was like,
Because the tiger could at any time.
just imagine that kid's brain DMT just kicked. As soon as he saw the tiger lift up, the tiger just boom into 1,000 because he was dead.
Yeah, because I mean, as soon as you see it jump up and realize that it's gonna get over, like you know at that point, then
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
So
you
he tells a story about how there was 6 dudes in a fucking boat trying to get away from a tiger, and the tiger swam to the boat, killed a dude, dragged him to shore, swam back,
Did
killed
that
the
work?
dude, kept on doing it, and they're beating it with fucking roars and everything. And by the time it killed 4 dudes, it got bored.
Bro, I'm telling you,
It
cats
just stopped.
Cats are the apex predators of the world. In
Yeah.
every environment, cats are the dominant predators. You got fucking jaguars in the Amazon that can kill fucking caiman, bro.
Let me think
Bro,
about
we've
this.
been killing cats for so
Cayman.
long. There used to be black.
Now you gotta remember something now.
Name me one climate or one area where cats aren't the dominant predator. In the jungle, panthers,
You know what I've
tigers,
seen? You know what I've seen? Kill,
leopards.
You know what I've seen kill cats? And a big cats?
Oh, the big cats.
No.
Or
big snakes.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I mean,
'Cause
to be fair,
If
yes.
they're venomous, they bite them, and they
Yeah,
become
that's what I mean.
paralyzed.
That's like one. That's
And they
one
have their way with them.
And you could get you like that can happen to anybody. So that that's kind of splitting hairs.
That's a hell of a
But when you
predator,
talking
man.
about like when you talking about like anything that's gonna actively fuck with them, like there's nothing. Like hyenas fuck with lions, but they have to have like massive numbers.
So kind of like
Monkeys do
eagle.
too.
I guess in bird it's a totally different.
Chimps have chimps.
They fuck with the babies.
No, chimps.
Anywhere
fuck
you
with the
go,
babies.
sometimes
I
hawks are bigger than
watched-
eagles, but eagles are always.
I watched the video of 2 chimpanzees beating the hell out of a lion.
One lion,
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
big boy.
but one lion dies.
He came into their territory.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, and then that's
They said
different.
chimpanzees are the most territorial animals in the jungle.
Yeah. We're pretty lucky.
They'll even eat their kids.
Oh, the first video on chimps kill a lion is Rogan. The second video is a lion with a chimp's head in its mouth just walking around.
I imagine
It's a hyena.
a pissed
Hyena.
off silverback.
That's what I was about
I
to
imagine a
say.
pissed off silverback would be.
I mean, now that's
fucked up the Reddit too.
the only thing. The only thing that's fucking with that is probably a bear, and even then, the fact
Did
that
Joe Rogan have something about a bear versus what was it?
that's a huge debate. Yeah,
A
people.
bear versus gorilla.
Yeah, people are.
He talks about that on
Yeah.
one of his shows.
That's like an age-old debate. People talk about that. Who will win between a gorilla and a.
Front door's fine.
But
Babe, you didn't hear the knock? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I personally think a gorilla will win.
Hey,
Yeah,
shut
Joe
your
Rogan.
mouth.
Oh,
They had a shark against a alligator. A croc. Whichever's the biggest
You
one.
might be talking about. He might have been talking about Fight Night. That's a show that used to come on TV where they used to compare animals and do like a simulation of a fight between the two and see who will win.
Now, if you're talking water, so I think there's got to be 3 realms. There's got to be like land, air, and water.
Sure.
Because in the air, cats aren't the most dominant, but I do like your cat argument for land. In the
Yes.
air, everywhere you go, there's hawks and eagles, and the eagles are always more dominant than the hawks. And sometimes the hawks are bigger, sometimes the hawks have crazier stuff. But everywhere the eagles fly higher, they're more dominant. They fuck them up.
The Hawks
Because raptors are generally bigger too.
What is that? A peregrine hawk?
Peregrine falcon.
Peregrine falcon. That's
Yeah.
One of the fastest birds. In a
The
dive.
fastest. The fastest.
Yeah, in a dive.
They got those in
Like
Detroit.
200 miles an hour.
They say
Those live by
it's
Justin.
a lot. I can't remember what it was, but it was astronomical how fast they are in the dive.
Yeah.
And they can see a
They
long
took out
way.
that 1300 Lafayette building into your yard and eat bats and shit.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy, bro. I like
in New York you
hawks.
see 'em.
I like hawks. That's probably my.
So if you could be
Yeah.
an animal, what would you be?
Probably a hawk.
But everywhere hawks are, eagles are more badass. So in
I mean,
Russia,
that's
they
true.
have the Seahawks
but
that
you
are
just,
giant. They're like 4 foot big.
but the one
Seahawks.
thing you get over them is speed. I like the speed. Hawks are generally faster because they're smaller.
So the eagles in Russia, where the Seahawks are giant, the
And they're
eagles
more agile
are
in
the
the air.
golden eagles. They're the razor beaks, so they're little. So they're like the smallest eagles in the
but they're
land
still
of the
not as
biggest hawks.
agile. Hawks are some of the most agile
Well, the
flyers
thing about
in
the
bird.
eagles,
I think I want to live underwater.
when those razor beak eagles,
I think
fight
I wanna
hawks,
be-
They fuck them up with their beak. They just stab them 100
I think I want to be a large octopus.
So even where the hawks are huge,
I want to be
eagles
a
are still
really
dominant.
big
They fight each
octopus.
other.
I don't know if I want to live underwater though.
Yeah, I think I want to live underwater.
Like underwater, the undersea is probably the most cutthroat like biome to live in.
Yeah, it is pretty rude.
Undersea is ruthless as fuck.
Shark
I
is definitely the
feel
most
you,
dominant
I
thing in
feel
the
you.
water, though. Sharks are insane.
Uh,
Sharks can live in brackish water. and shit.
Depends. Because sharks regularly get killed by dolphins.
For sure.
It's a couple of
So intelligence places. I would say killer whales.
There's a fish. What is it called?
I saw, so seals are really smart.
3 of these fish
I
can
saw a
kill
seal.
a shark.
2 killer whales are in the
They're
shallows,
big.
but they're as shallow as they can possibly get. Their fins are sticking out, and it's shallow where they are. And the seal's still in the water. You can barely see him, but he's more shallow because he can handle more shallow. And he's just riding along the coast as these 2 killer whales are over here. Like, they keep trying to get closer to him, and they can't. And he's just riding. The fucking seal.
Yeah, but
He could have got out of the water.
That ain't all the time the case though. Because them bitches be damn near beaching themselves.
He's just
on
going to
land.
find other seals that are dumb enough to get eaten by those sharks so he can get away. Or those whales.
Because you gonna have like every species you gonna have one that's like smarter than the average of their species. But I was watching this one documentary. These fucking sea lions. They had one was swimming back and forth. And they are all watching, all the sea lions, you can see them on the beach, they all watching the one swimming back and forth. And the whole time, another one was coming from deeper underwater and it literally was just swam onto the beach, like beached itself.
Yeah.
Grabbed the fucking seal and then wiggled back into the fucking water.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy as fuck.
Yeah, I'd like to be an octopus living on the sea floor.
So octopus with their chameleon ass shit.
That's not bad.
crazy.
They're pretty fucking intelligent too.
They don't live very long though.
So they have an eyeball that is exactly like ours. I guess.
Like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So
They do have
their
eyeball like
sight
ours.
spectrum is the same as ours or whatever.
Yeah, they can
so
see.
us and them have the same type of vision. So they see like we.
And
do
their
in the water.
tentacles can sense a lot of stuff in the water.
So
too.
the way that happened is either there's some sort of long lost relative of ours in some sort of way, or some sort of gene mutated in the exact same way for them that did
Well,
for
we all
us.
come from the fucking sea square.
Yeah, we
Or
yeah.
there's a way that maybe they got hit with like a blast of radiation once upon a time, and the eyeball was like a mutation that all their ancestors had.
Man, on Channel 56, they had a special about octopus. And they talk about, they were experimenting with them, scientists, right?
Mm-hmm.
The best.
And they were
chameleons
they were in an aquarium. And then the basement, the octopus were in the basement of, aquariums.
Mm-hmm.
And the fish were upstairs. So every day when they come in, they count the fish so they know if any fish die.
Mm-hmm.
So they count the fish. They came in one day, they counted the fish. It's only 26 fish here. It was 27 yesterday. Where did the other fish go? So the next day it happened again. So the guy noticed something. He noticed like some slime on the floor. The octopus got out of his aquarium, went up the stairs, opened the door,
Yeah.
jumped up and whoop.
Oh yeah.
and was stealing the fish at night. And went back.
That's awesome.
I watched a video of
So
one
I get caught. We had a
fucking
good
Under
time.
unscrewed
the
jar.
jar. I did too, to get us some food.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
why
they-
there's
and
no
they can-
lost treasure.
What I like about them, though, they can change their color.
Yeah, that
They got,
camouflage.
they got
they're-
a beak.
Yeah, they're probably the best.
Oh, they're
camouflage.
good.
They are.
They are good at that.
Chameleons can only do it if their blood temperature's right. You get a chameleon fucking too cold, it can't do
They
shit.
can't do it. Yeah.
Octopus.
And it still takes time. Like when they change, when
Yeah.
chameleons change, like it starts at like
Yeah,
one place and then
it-
like flows. But
The
octopus is like instant.
On the special,
Yeah.
it was octopus man, and he looked like a flashing light.
Mm-hmm.
when they catch
can
octopus,
flash off and on like lights.
Whatchamacallit
they,
can do that too.
they'll flash in a bunch of different colors when they're
Cuttlefish.
stressed out.
Yeah.
Cuttlefish can do that too.
Yeah. Well, cuttlefish is they're the same family.
Mm-hmm.
That's just insane.
Cuttlefish, the nautilus,
Almost.
and the squid. They're all in the
How
same
come we
family.
didn't fucking
Oh,
mutate
but
any
octopus-
sort of
Octopus are on a
bioluminescence?
different level though because they're the only ones that's smart.
It'd be so sweet if like our nose glue red when we were horny or
I'm not
something.
gonna fuck him up.
Cuttlefish
Just some
and,
sort of bioluminescence.
and nautilus aren't generally considered as intelligent as octopus.
Right,
Like
right.
you tell girls into you because her lobes start glowing yellow or some shit, you know? Like bioluminescence.
I don't think I want that.
I mean, we walk around school with a binder in front of us and girls know
That's
we're in
now you want to talk about living underwater. That's the scary thing. All the shit that live like deep down in the parts that we hadn't explored.
Oh, there's some shit down there, dude. It is some shit
Cause
down
bro,
there.
Species that are more intelligent than us.
I wouldn't be
What is
surprised
there that's enormous?
because you have to
What's
fucking
that's-
develop something to live down that deep with that pressure, and then you don't.
Is that where
You
the
can't
last
see
dragons
shit.
are?
There's no
You
light.
just live in water too.
Yeah, there's some shit down there.
Man,
I've seen them. You
In
know,
China, the stories of dragons,
as far as they can,
like water serpents.
as far as they've been down there, I don't think they've ever been to the complete bottom. No,
So
they've never been to the
there's
bottom.
been someone
Only-
down to the bottom of San Andreas
Well,
Vault or
they
whatever.
seen a robot down there so far, but no human can go. I think
No, there's been someone down to
certain.
whatever that
It
big
depends
one is.
on.
it's called the Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's
That's
called.
the deepest.
That's the
part
deepest
in
part of the
ocean.
ocean.
Yeah, I think it's called the Mariana Trench, and I
But
think
only
it's like
certain
6
parts.
miles.
Only certain parts have been explored. Like
Right.
because it's like a very very small number. I think when it comes to like all the water on Earth, how much of it has actually been explored? It's like
Hardly
maybe
any.
less than 10%.
Yes, it is. I think it's like 9%
Yeah, it's not a
of
lot.
the ocean.
Mhm.
That's why they said. That's why they say that's where the aliens are.
I can see that because there are definitely
3 people have been to the bottom of the ocean, quote unquote, and 1 U.S. Navy submariner, so 4 people. Pacific Ocean, somewhere between Guam and the Philippines, lies the Marianas Trench,
That's what I'm talking about.
also known as the Mariana Trench or whatever, at 35,814 feet below sea level. The Challenger,
15,000.
the Challenger Deep is what the deepest point on Earth is called. And a group of people have been to the Challenger Deep. They're in a crazy high pressure thing with
A half a handful of people.
probably 4 foot thick window glass.
Just imagine.
Just pure darkness, crazy pressure.
up.
Just imagine. You
Yeah.
can't come up fast.
Yeah.
You cannot come up
You
fast.
get that blood.
You got to detox on your way up.
decompression
You
sickness.
got to get that oxygen out of your
What they
system.
call it?
That's gotta feel
the
so weird.
bands.
You probably gotta be healthy to.
That should have killed you too. You
Yeah.
can die from that.
Mhm.
How many people died months later, or would?
Yeah.
I
the
don't know
world-
implications from going to Challenger.
Yeah, I don't fuck around underwater.
Well, let me see. Let me see. How? You know, I was curious about something. Insects.
If you'd have asked me one
Incest,
stat
is that what
to
you
tell
said?
you about Justin that I had to come off the top of my head that I know was true, it'd have been he don't fuck with no water.
I'm dead. That's rude. That's rude.
Is
but
that
not
true?
untrue.
Is that true?
No, I said not untrue. It's rude, but not untrue. No. And then my parents instilled that in me. My mom got stung by a jellyfish,
Well, I was swimming.
and she put that fear in us. Like, no, the ocean
Just
is a
sting the
scary
jellyfish.
place. We don't do water.
No, I don't do wild
To
water.
this day, it's like a
I'll do a pool, but I don't do wild water.
You don't go into lakes?
No, sir.
Oh my God.
No, sir.
getting on a boat,
no.
being on a boat,
Pretending a shark's
and
coming to eat you is the best feeling on earth.
not on the
man. Why
ocean,
would you do that?
on a fucking regular lake up here with no fucking things that hurt.
I don't get off the
Seaweed
boat.
in your feet.
I
Trout
stay
nibbling
out
at your
in the
balls.
boat.
Actually, Uncle Dean's at the lake right now watching podcast because he sounds like a goddamn fucking. I know he's a youper, but he sounds like he's almost. It's like his youp has gotten a little
Catfish.
too soda. You know what I'm saying? Like the Minnesota, he sounds a little too Minnesota.
Yeah.
The UP is going.
He's
with
picking up, yeah. Yeah, man.
That sound like Minnesota.
You never heard anybody from the UP? Hey,
I
they sound like
not.
Canadians.
Yeah, you do the same Canadian thing.
Yeah.
One of the things they say a lot, where they're just affirming shit that you say. They say like yeah, or like yeah, and like they'll say that often. Like,
Oh yeah. When you hear them talk, you're like, okay, I get it, because it's crazy.
Yeah.
I have not been up north.
You're such. Oh, here I can play it for you.
Yep.
I can actually play you what he sounds like on here.
A lot of my friends have moved up north. I say it. A third of my friends now live up north.
Which are they, white or
Up in
black?
White.
Of
Up in
course.
Charlevoix and Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie, I went to college up there. Last exit on I-75.
I only ever knew about Sault Ste. Marie.
I'm talking about in the last
ticket to
this is in the
ride.
last 2 or 3 years.
Oh.
They've all
The
bought
board
land up
game.
here.
Ah, that's hilarious.
Sault Ste. Marie.
And that's what I called it until somebody told me, oh no, it's pronounced Sault Ste.
Because
Marie.
it's French. Up where the Ojibwa Indian tribe.
Which I should have known. I'm from
All right,
fucking New
all right.
Orleans. But it still it didn't look French to me.
All right, here he is. Come on now.
I don't hear nothing. Oh, there we go.
Pete, you did a good job.
He's not very loud.
No, it's not. What?
Thank you for the seats.
Yeah, I can't hardly hear.
Yeah, I can't hear him. It sucks. My fucking computer sucks. He said he was gonna make a.
It always comes back to the computer.
You know this computer sucks.
Oh, that's nice.
See, nice.
He probably said, child, why the hell is y'all sitting here dissecting my voice? Move on to the next topic.
I doubt that.
Or you feel like me, like, yes, child, keep talking about me.
Hey, it's interactive.
Hold on. You need the shirt he's wearing. It says it's not the size of the peninsula that matters, and it has the upper peninsula. It's how you use it.
I'm dead. You know what? Shut the fuck up. I'm dead. That is
mister. Hold on.
that is fucking hilarious.
You know what they call us up there? We're trolls because we live under the bridge.
Mm-mm.
When I was in Alaska, they call it the lower 48. That's what they call it up there, the lower 48.
I mean, that would make sense. We are the lower
The
48.
continental 48. We are the continent, motherfucker.
Y'all not better than us, Alaska.
Well, they do get paid.
Oh, don't tell them that.
It's
Y'all
like
got-
six,
y'all
Oh, no,
it's
buddy.
6 dudes
I got
to
this big
girl.
cold ass weather.
I don't want to go to
And
war
then the
with
sun don't
them.
even come out here.
They have more
Girl.
pride than anybody I've ever seen. Oh, they are loyal to Alaska, dude. You
Because,
must say nothing bad about Alaska.
They take pride in tough living.
Oh,
They
man.
think their life sucks and they're
I mean, you
badass
have
and they live-
to.
Well, I mean, they got cities up there. Everybody's not living tough. Everybody that lives out in the bush.
Yeah, like I'm
In
sure
the,
like
cities,
Juno.
in the cities, they find bodies when the fucking snow melts. Because if people get fucking killed in the winter, you can just throw them in the snow and that shit washes them as it fucking melts away.
What the fuck?
So I lived in Fairbanks. Fairbanks was 90,000 people, I believe, when I was up there.
Half of them carrying a gun.
And in the
half of them got
city,
penises.
when you're in the city, you were in the city, not
Right.
any other city. You know what I mean?
It's just cold,
They had
right.
bars and restaurants and rally-by, and people spending. Everybody had money. Oh, everybody had.
all that
money.
oil money.
Everybody walking around. It was normal to walk around with $2,000 or $3,000 in your pocket all the time. Because if you worked on the
Should have ran a
pipeline,
numbers game.
if you worked on the pipeline, you didn't have to buy nothing. Your housing, your food, and your entertainment was paid by the oil company. So when you got your check, it was all your check.
I can do whatever the fuck I want with this shit.
And you know you getting $3,000 checks, you know. And people that were skilled are getting $10,000 checks. Damn.
Too much money. No, you're not gonna lick my hands.
Yeah, that was me. What's up, big dog? Hanging out with the big guys, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be 3 this year.
He does have history.
He's a big boy.
Stop it.
3.
3 in June.
Man,
Time flies, don't
I
it?
remember when he was just a video on your phone.
my cat would devour him.
You're what?
My cat would devour
Oh,
him.
you're a cat.
Yeah. He's so small compared to my cat.
Yeah, but his dog friends would fuck your cat up right after.
I mean, and I don't even know about that. Because,
No.
I mean,
Cats
eventually,
fuck up dogs, man.
I was about to say, it
It's
depends
just
on how
like,
scared
why
they
would
would be
you
of the
so
cat. Because
Yeah, once a kid dog gets hit by a cat
Again.
one time,
Again, territorial.
They
Cats
do.
are very territorial.
Yeah, that's the-
and female cats are real territorial.
Yeah, oh, they wouldn't have fucked with Coco. Neither of that. I don't give a fuck how big.
I know you saw that video where the pit bull's pulling the baby away.
Mm-hmm.
The baby, it was a baby in diapers, sitting in the driveway. And a pit bull runs up and to the diaper and dragging the kid away. And this cat
Like it's gonna
came from nowhere, like Bruce Lee.
just flying in the air.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly how it was.
All 4 feet.
And
landing
he
on
went
the
by that
fucking
dog
Yeah.
with his paws. That dog dropped that baby and took off and running.
Only
And the
dog-
cat was chasing him.
The only
They
time.
hit it with 20 claws though.
The
They hit
only
that
time
dog like
cats
this.
lose against dogs is when it's like one cat versus like 5 dogs. As long as it's like 1-on-1 or 2-on-1,
Cats fight the shit
They're
out
so
of them.
agile.
I'm gonna pick a cat. Yeah, they're too
They're
fast
too
and way
agile.
agile, and their claws are way sharper. Like you get hit with them claws one time when they mean
rip
it.
your skin.
Yes, I've gotten hit with them on accident, so I can only imagine what it feels like when they actually mean to hit
There was a
your
baseball
ass.
game where a stray cat runs out. It was in New York, and I guess there's a bunch of stray cats that get in that stadium anyway. But a stray cat runs on the field,
He's mad.
and
He
in one
just
of the
got his
dugouts, a
collar.
player smacks a bat boy on the back and says, "It's your job, kid," and he's fucking with him. But the response from the kid runs out there and grabs the fucking cat. You know, like
no.
ball player hits him on the back, and the kid's fucking in. You know, so,
Hell no.
But I guess he grabs the cat and brings it back to the dugout, and by the time he gets to the dugout, he is shredded.
He's all tore up.
Because he's just holding the cat like this, and the cat's just shredding him, and the kid's just
Yeah,
shredding
tore
him.
up.
Like,
Bro, them claws
Toe up.
like fucking
but
knives.
the kid
bro.
runs out there, and the cat's all like, like fuck you, and the kid just like picks him up and runs.
That right there.
It's
My
nuts.
cat did that, and it was just a fucking accident. Like he didn't even intend to do it.
Why did Smokey leave 3 pieces of food for later? He just got
Yeah.
bored at the very end.
The pile there was
He's a
left from
spoiled
earlier.
bitch.
Because he just ate all the other shit.
He didn't eat them all.
He said, I'll get that later.
He got bored.
He got a little
Yeah.
snack.
He
You
didn't eat
know.
them all the first time.
He licked his
Where
lips,
did
got
he
some
go?
water, took off.
He took off.
Yeah, he got water, and then
Washed it down.
then Vision got up, was like, "Hey,
Water.
what are you doing?"
He probably in that living room.
Now Visions get drink all the rest of the water. Just going to town.
Yeah, he
2
drinks out of
minutes
the bowl, and he drinks out of the other one.
Fox.
They both do.
I don't care what you say though.
Those damn dogs drink whatever the fuck they want.
I would never want to run up on no fucking hippo.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Well,
You
they
guys
kill
were
more
talking
people-
about
they kill more people than
aggressiveness,
anybody
and I was
else.
like,
Yeah.
don't fuck with the
Hippopotamus?
hippo.
That's
They kill
the-
more.
Can't expect-
Yeah.
They kill more people than lions,
Mhm.
I have no
tigers,
idea.
and
Yeah.
elephants.
Yup,
Vicious.
they kill the most people in Africa every year.
Yep.
See, I'd never go in the water if there was hippos.
Good job.
And it also
Come out of the water.
Yeah,
Yeah, they run to a land.
And they can run.
And they faster than people think they are.
They can run up to 35 miles
Yeah,
an
they-
I
hour.
have ideas on how to
look.
fight a
And
deer,
in
but
the
I don't
water,
have ideas
I
on
don't
how to
know
fight a
much
hippo.
faster.
There is no way to fight hippo.
No. Do you punch it in one of its broke ass teeth? Because their teeth are always fucked. Like they
I
look
mean,
like
but
hockey-
bro, no.
We should start a hockey
there's
team called the
whole fucking
Hippos.
herd coming after that.
And you also have to think. You also have to think, like, visualize how long their teeth actually are. Like you thinking like
Yeah.
punch them in the tooth. Their tooth is like as long as your fucking.
Oh, I break my
forearm.
fucking fingers.
Right,
I
so it's
punch my
like-
tooth and break
See,
two
I
knuckles.
can't even reach his tooth.
Yeah, right. And then not to mention, I'm like,
Yeah.
these are some big fucking animals.
And he's got that jaw that.
If a hippo comes
Yeah,
at you,
like almost
really
180
open.
degrees.
I saw a hippo and a rhino go at it. The rhino fucking gave up and ran.
if a hippo comes at
The
you,
quickness.
strip naked,
And rhinos
start
are
doing a
generally
sex
bigger than
dance.
hippos.
I know,
which is
but-
It's like
crazy.
you're trying to mate with
And
them.
they're supposed to be more
to
aggressive
win
too.
that fight. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They're territorial too, though, so you just gotta get the fuck out of where you came from.
Yeah, I was about to say rhinos are extremely aggressive too.
They say
There ain't a lot of them left, though, man.
I watched the rhino.
It's a shame.
Hippo's favorite place to
I
hang
watched
out.
not a lot of those
I watched
tall
them get
grass.
wrecked by a fucking
Just run
elephant.
through tall grass.
All because people thinks it gets their rhino going.
Yeah. I mean, not just that. They make other shit with that bitch too. It's like
I wouldn't want to fuck
that's
with
one of the
full-size
reasons why it's
boar.
still so popular.
Like
It
the
has so
big
many different
boars in
uses.
Europe and shit.
Yeah, uses that aren't real.
I mean, they are real, but I mean,
That's the problem.
They're
They're not
that's
real
what I'm
uses.
saying.
If it was like, everything bagel seasoning,
It's the
you
same
can
thing
use
with
it on
fucking
everything, like literally
It's the same
everything.
thing with elephant tusks. The
Yeah.
only difference is elephants
You put that
are
shit on
Yeah,
everything.
that's good.
elephants are generally
It's
harder
just
to
a
hunt.
shame. It's just a shame that they've destroyed a lot of things, man. It's
I mean, as
it's a shame.
uh,
I would go for less technical and industrial shit
I was
to
watching.
live a more paradise type life.
I was watching something
Well,
today.
you know, it may not be over with. They was
That's how many buffalo there were.
they numbered in the millions. Like it was like
And they would ride in the trains and have rifles and shoot them out the window.
they were essentially our wildebeest. Like
yeah.
Africa has the wildebeest. That was our wildebeest. Because if you ever see herds of them bitches, like I was
yeah.
watching the Nature Channel and like
It's tons of them.
Zoom up, go up in the
There's
sky.
tons of them.
Huge.
They look like ants.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Huge herds. Like I mean, they live that kind of life where it's like strength in numbers.
Yep, and they be crossing rivers and
And
shit.
them crocodiles be fucking their asses up. Fox, that'd be some more. I call your name a lot, Fox, but I hope you know it's because I like
At least we got good ways to fight crocodiles. Like if a human has to fight a
fuck that.
crocodile,
I'm not fighting no crocodile.
you can
right?
hold its mouth shut. That's the only goddamn hope you got. Hold its goddamn
I'm
mouth shut.
sorry. That
You gotta
is
be a strong.
no, you don't.
They can close their mouth on you like a motherfucker.
But they can't. They don't have strong openings.
Oh,
So
okay.
you grab that shit.
In
but
theory, that is very
that's
true.
why
But
dudes are able to do that.
Yeah, I see.
I'm
guys
not
do
good
it.
enough to do that.
But you better be fast. You better be
They come
fast.
at you with their mouth open.
I'm not getting even close. Nope.
Oh no, you ain't gotta worry about me.
Nope.
I gotta tell you, I don't do wild. I don't do wild.
Come on, man. There's
I did
water here.
I did enough wild when I was in Alaska.
Alligators in Florida.
Here.
Oh, where
I did enough wild when I was in Alaska. I don't do wild.
When it comes
No.
to predators, though, predators don't want to fight you. When we were talking about cougars, that story that I had, there was a husband and
It's
wife in
probably
like
cougars
Utah walking through a valley or whatever, and a mountain lion came at them. And this thing was huge, and it jumped on the husband. The wife ran immediately for help and came back with like an ambulance or something. But the husband's response, he said he choked it for 10 minutes while it ripped apart his face. He had a rebuilt face now because it just ripped apart his face.
Yep.
He was choking it for 10 minutes and didn't give a fuck. Like choking it with both hands did nothing. And then he moved to the eyeballs. And he put both
There
his
you
thumbs
go.
in its
There
eyeballs.
you go.
And the second he put both his thumbs in its eyeballs, he's thinking tickle its brain with my fingernails. It just runs away. It
Yeah.
want no piece of
It's
him.
all about the eyeball.
Because it's a predator and it can't lose an
Yeah, you fuck
eyeball.
the eyes
So
up,
it
that's
said, I ain't messing with this thing anymore. And he had a mangled face and he knew it jumped on him this way and he's on a trail and like he couldn't see shit because he had just shit everywhere in his face. But he knew like that's the way to go. So he's like walking this way as his wife comes with an ambulance.
It's a big change.
She probably didn't get to people till after
What a
she was
story,
walking
right?
back.
There was some dude, if I'm not mistaken, I remember some story about a dude.
guy's eyes were toast. I
He
think he
beat the
just
shit out of
sprayed
a cougar with his bike. If I'm not mistaken,
That's something
how
to
he
learn
got
from
away
though.
it.
Grizzly
Yeah.
bear's gonna whop your head off.
Because a woman got killed
But if it
just
gets
last
close enough
year.
and doesn't do that,
She was biking on a bike trail. I think it was in California. And, a
Yeah.
bobcat or a cougar, one of them killed her.
It was a cougar. I'm almost certain that was California.
Yeah. You're driving along on the trail with your trail bike and having a good time. Next thing you know,
A fucking cougar. And that's
Yeah.
why I don't fuck with because you will never know that them bitches are stalking you. You will never know it.
Yep. They
I
like
just
to watch
can't.
you from a high. They'll get a high
And jump down on top of
They
your
just stare.
ass. Hell yeah. And the bitches can jump from like 20, 30 feet.
Well,
That
you
is the
notice
thing that
something that's,
blows
like,
me.
sitting there staring at you already.
They're a
That's
cat,
a big
man.
distance to
They
jump
are
in
a
one
cat.
bound.
They are a cat.
My cat goes from here.
That's what I'm saying.
And they know all the
And believe me,
It translates.
believe me, he can jump higher than that.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
you can.
absolutely.
And your
Absolutely.
idiot's fucking home.
Because my fat cat,
I've seen it.
my cat is middle aged and fat, and he could jump from this table up to that.
Yeah.
So I'm
They're
sure
very
he can jump higher.
agile animals.
He absolutely can jump higher.
Do you imagine
And you
how
know what
awesome it
else?
to be a fucking
They are
tiger?
kind. They are kind of
1,000
brutal.
years
They're
ago
brutal
in
animals.
India.
Because they play with their food and shit.
I heard that cats kill 4 million birds a year.
Yes, they are a problem.
4 million
Random
birds
wild birds.
a year.
They are, yep, they're a big problem. That's why.
They're sitting around just waiting to pounce on birds all day.
Dude,
That's why there's a thing people don't like you letting your house cats out in the yard.
my
That's
mom's got
probably
these
why
6
birds don't
parakeets.
take over the
Well,
world.
that's what they're doing, yeah.
Because birds breed like crazy,
Like
like
crazy.
rabbits and shit
Yep.
like that.
But also, too, birds are kind of dumb.
How many
Birds
birds
breed a lot.
This is true, but birds are kind of dumb. Like,
And
I mean,
isn't it usually the dumb species that breed all the time?
yes, because they know they have to compensate for their dumb activities. Because there is literally a
Because they're
bird.
prey. They're prey.
There
They
is
know
a
they're prey.
bird that
We should
fucking
do a research study. We should go
lays
to school bus
an
stops and
egg,
we should see how many kids there are.
in
And when we're
another
in the trailer
bird's
park, we need
nest.
more kids than when we're in the rich neighborhood.
and when its egg hatches, basically it lays it like unsuspectingly. The other bird mother, she don't recognize it or some shit.
Yeah.
The fucking egg hatches and then it literally eats the other birds or pushes them out the nest.
So
And
it's
what
the mom
competition?
continues feeding the bird that is not her baby. And she continues fucking feeding it.
She's like, this one's more pretty.
Like
She's
that is
fuck you, ugly duckling. You
ridiculous.
look like me.
Like that you as a mother bird, you come back and recognize a strange bird in your nest. Your instincts are that
Yeah.
strong that you continue feeding this strange bird even though it has obliterated your line, your lineage. Like that's crazy.
That's
Birds are fucking dumb. There's a reason the term
The
is
animal
bird.
world, man. The animal world is.
You know where jaywalking comes from? Jaywalking comes from people used to call idiots
I saw a picture-
jaybirds, and they shortened it to jay.
I saw a picture of a
where you
beaver,
shouldn't be,
um,
is it dumb as a jaybird?
A beaver was
Jaywalk.
trying to chop down a tree. It was biting. It was like a series of trees. You saw it.
Yeah.
And the fucking tree fell on his head and like crushed his head.
Oh shit!
Oh, like somebody, the dude walked up and got the video of it, and you can really see it. Like just his
Hanging
the whole head is crushed.
He fucked up.
Oh, like animals. Yeah, a lot of animals are really fucking dumb. A lot of animals don't.
He might have done 100 trees like that. It's just a trick
Yeah.
of, you know, so that's up in that weird
Yeah,
that time.
yeah, you're
I
right.
mean,
I'm sure that wasn't the first tree. Because, you know, only full dog grown.
I mean, he was a big ass beaver, so he was a little dog
You
beaver.
see those guys who know
It
what
was
they're doing,
probably
they drop
just
the
too
trees
big of a
in
tree
between,
for
like,
him
the
to be
house
trying
and
to
the
chop
garage,
down.
and they drop the
It
trees
looked like he had
exactly
been
where
chewing
they
at that
want
tree for
it.
hours.
Those videos are fucking great.
I just can't do it.
oh my god, you two.
They're having big fun down there.
Animals are fucking outside of like eat, sleep, and reproduce. Animals are
So I've never seen
Generally
anything
pretty
crazy
fucking
that
dumb.
was like trying to kill me. I've never seen like a bobcat or a mountain lion, but
I think they're pretty smart.
I have seen
you have a
moose.
select few species that carry intelligence, but
what I
most
mean-
animals have just enough intelligence to do the basic functions they need to get by.
No, bobtails are highly intelligent.
Well, that's different. Like cats
That's
are
why
one of
Smokey will
cats
sit
are one of
there
those
and
select
cry,
species.
Cry and cry because he knows
Yep.
if he cries long enough, he's gonna
He's gonna get what he wants.
That's,
Hundreds of
cats are
cats.
one of those
He's
select
always
species.
on time.
He done
too.
figured it out.
He's early, but he's always on time.
He's
too,
figured
so
it
it's
out.
like, goddamn.
I've been feeding my cat at 7 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the afternoon since I've had him. Tell me this bitch don't know how to tell time, but every day at 5 o'clock he
Of
gets up
course.
cutting up.
Of course.
They are
Of
so,
course.
especially Smokey. Naya's pretty chill, but Smokey is not.
So
Yeah,
you know,
cats are probably the most intelligent animal on land.
you know, our
Well, elephants
Are
are
you
pretty
saying hi to
intelligent.
the camera?
Elephants are
dog.
pretty intelligent too.
Dogs
Look at
are
you,
linked
guys.
to us a little better than cats. We link better with dogs.
You
than
know
cats.
why? Because dogs have one thing that cats don't have,
Vision.
and that is the desire to please us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Get bred into
Well,
it.
yeah, that's the one thing that cats don't have. My cats,
Smoke a bunch of treats and I ignore him. He gives me all the
Cats don't want
lovin's.
but it's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
to the game
He gives
though.
me-
He knows what to
It's to the
do.
He
game
still
though.
gives me the cry and the baby voice.
Yeah, he knows what
It's
to
the
do.
game to get what he wants.
I know what he wants, I know,
Mhm.
but he tries so hard for it. Where
Yeah.
Naya, the only time she ever even yells at me is for some love. Like,
That's what, and that's one thing I like about cats. Even though they are like give me attention when I want it type animals, when they do want attention, like they are so fucking lovable.
oh my
Like,
god, Smokey's
oh,
so amazing.
yes.
I pick him up and he just sits right on top of my
Mhm.
boobs and puts his head
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here.
And when they do that little shit where they eyes squint.
Snuggling. They be
Like,
snuggling.
now
Yep.
Still, he just loves it. Oh my god! And he'll be licking my neck. And
Yep.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. That little
Like,
rough
thank you,
tongue.
Mama.
Yeah, that's how my cat is. Now that he's
They
getting
all
like
love the
older,
nails. Like,
he's more.
I gotta
touchy
get rid of
feely.
these ugly ass things, but like, because I've been playing with epoxy resin a lot.
Mhm.
It destroyed the white.